You are nobody. That's not an insult. That's just the truth on your first day at Quantico. You are 23 years old, you have a criminology degree from a state school, and you are standing in a line of 50 other people who are also nobody. All of you wearing the same uncomfortable clothes. All of you trying to look like you belong here. You don't, not yet. The FBI doesn't take nobodies and turn them into agents overnight. It takes 21 weeks. 21 weeks of running until your legs give out, shooting until your hands go numb, and being told in 100 different ways that you are not good enough yet. You wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. You run 5 miles before breakfast. You learn to shoot a Glock 19 until hitting a target at 25 yards feels as natural as breathing. Week 3, you almost quit. You're sitting on the floor of your dorm room at midnight, every muscle in your body screaming, and you think, is this actually worth it? You think about the reason you applied. You get up off the floor. You graduate 21 weeks later. Your parents are in the audience. Your mother cries. Your father shakes your hand and doesn't let go for a long time. You are now a special agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Rank 1, Special Agent. Your first case is insurance fraud. You don't say this out loud, but you are deeply, profoundly disappointed. You imagined serial killers, international espionage, undercover operations in dark warehouses. What you get is a 58-year-old man in Ohio who faked a back injury and has been collecting disability checks while coaching his son's little league team. You spend 3 weeks reviewing financial records. You make the arrest. The man cries. You feel nothing except tired. This is the job, 90% paperwork, 10% everything you imagined. But you learn something important. The paperwork is what puts people away. A sloppy report means a guilty man walks free. You have seen it happen. You refuse to let it happen on your cases. 3 years in, you catch your first real break. A tip comes in about a money laundering operation connected to organized crime. You work it for 6 months. Surveillance, financial analysis, wiretaps. The arrest goes smoothly. But when you're sitting at your desk afterwards, something clicks. This is what you're good at. Not the running or the shooting. The puzzle. Finding the thread and pulling it until everything unravels. Rank 2, Senior Special Agent. You have been doing this for 7 years now. You know things about human beings that you wish you didn't know. You know that people are capable of extraordinary evil and extraordinary stupidity, often at the same time. You have interviewed murderers who cried about their childhoods. You have interviewed white-collar criminals who genuinely believed they hadn't done anything wrong. You have also seen the other side. The victim's family who finally gets answers after 10 years. The trafficking survivor who testifies despite being terrified. Those are the days that keep you going. Your personal life has suffered. You've missed birthdays, anniversaries, holidays. Your phone goes off at 3 a.m., and you answer it because that's the job. You buy a dog. The dog doesn't care about your hours. You name him Hoover. Rank 3, Supervisory Special Agent. Now you manage people. This is harder than anything you have done before. You are responsible for a squad of 12 agents, 12 different personalities, 12 different problems. You have an agent who is brilliant but can't write a report to save his life. You have an agent going through a divorce who is barely holding it together. Your job is to make all 12 of them function as one unit. One of your agents makes a mistake on a surveillance operation. A suspect gets spooked and runs. 6 months of work disappears in 20 minutes. You close your office door and take 3 deep breaths. Then you go out there and rebuild the case from scratch, because that's what supervisors do. Rank 4, Assistant Special Agent in Charge. You are now responsible for an entire division. You spend more time in meetings than in the field. This bothers you more than you expected. You miss the puzzle. But you are good at this. Your division's conviction rate is the highest in the region 3 years running. Your name starts appearing on lists. Rank 5, Special Agent in Charge. You run an entire field office now. 400 agents, hundreds of active investigations. The day you take command, you stand in front of your entire office and give a speech. You talk about integrity, about the mission, about what it means to wear the badge. Afterward, a young agent, maybe 24 years old, first year, comes up to you and says you reminded them of why they joined. You think about yourself at 23 standing in that line at Quantico. You were nobody then, too. Rank 6, Executive Assistant Director. Washington, D.C. You are now one of the most senior law enforcement officials in the country. You brief members of Congress. You testify before Senate committees. You sit in rooms with cabinet secretaries and generals. The work is genuinely, historically important. But sometimes at night you sit in your apartment and you think about that first case. The insurance fraud guy in Ohio. You wonder if he ever got his life together. Rank 7, Deputy Director. There are 2 people above you in the entire FBI. You have been doing this for 29 years. You have worked under 6 different directors and 4 different presidents. You have seen the Bureau at its best and at its worst. You are 52 years old. You still wake up at 5 a.m.? Old habits. Hoover III sleeps at the foot of the bed. You're on your 3rd dog, all named Hoover. Rank 8, FBI Director. The President calls you personally. You say yes before he finishes asking. You are confirmed by the Senate. You stand in the Great Hall of the J. Edgar Hoover Building and take the oath of office in front of 500 agents. You are now the Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. You think about what you would tell your 23-year-old self standing in that line at Quantico. You'd probably just say, keep going. Keep going when the cases are boring. Keep going when the hours are impossible. Keep going when everything falls apart. You kept going. And now you run the most powerful law enforcement agency in the world. You go home that night. Hoover III is waiting at the door, tail wagging, completely unimpressed by your new title. You sit on the floor and let him climb into your lap. Tomorrow the real work begins. Tonight you just sit there for a while. Nobody, then somebody, then everybody. And somehow, against all odds, exactly where you were always supposed to be.